Hello, everybody, and welcome to another cup of self-empowerment to trust, heal, and be thyself. I am absolutely delighted to welcome a very special soul, a very close friend and dear soul sister of mine, Nunn from the US. So Laura is going to be joining us today to talk about how she learned to trust, heal, and be herself. And for those of you who don't know her, I'd like to give a little quick update and so you have a bit of knowledge about Laura herself. Laura Nunn of Radiant Aura Coaching is a 4.6 splenic projector and identifies the non-binary spending time with animals and nature in the middle of America. They've worked in many fields, including nonprofit outreach school, counseling, psychology, sales, business management, both corporate and entrepreneurial, and is currently a life enjoyment specialist utilizing coaching, human design, and Reiki to help folks authentically aligned to enjoy living their best lives while pursuing their passions. They've spent the last 20 years of their life searching for and studying tools to navigate their emotions and experiences. At the very core, they know that they are here to be of service, to bring people together with their best selves, to wake you up and to help you be able to help yourself, to be your own life enjoyment specialist. Well, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. So welcome, Laura.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. So Laura, tell us about how you started your journey to trust thyself.
I feel like that is a journey I've been on my whole life. Recently, it really started with realizing I was unhappy. I had to get to that point of, I've followed someone else's path. I don't feel like myself anymore. And entering into really reaching out to whatever I felt was aligned to me, to learn how to trust my inner voice, to be able to hear myself again, to be able to, it was really with coaching, somebody reflecting me back to me that I could hear what was actually in my internal world for one of the first times in my life. And that just set off sparks of, I'm meant to do this too. I'm meant to work with energy. I'm meant to, and then just continuously showing up for myself. It really was and is still a practice of trusting myself.
Oh, completely.
Like every day.
Oh, for all of us, totally. Because, we all get sidetracked and we don't trust ourselves because we're always placing that trust outside of ourselves. And then it's like remembering, which is a great way how you put it, that you had to have someone reflect that trust back to you, to actually for you to mirror that and see, hey, that's actually my reflection. That's me. And I've got that within myself. And, if it's igniting stuff within you like that, then that it's your inner nudge is telling you what to do, basically, guiding you on your path. Wow. Yeah. And as you said, trusting is always, I always think it's the first kind of block that we have to work through when we start walking our path. Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah, it's a practice. Like when you fall down, when you get away from it, when you start to doubt yourself, it's about practicing the steps to come back to yourself, to trust how you feel and follow what helps you feel better.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. So how did trust in thyself lead you on your journey to start healing thyself?
I think they went hand in hand, where trusting myself, hearing myself, feeling my feelings is healing. It's that practice. They still go hand in hand.
Definitely. And did you actually did you find that you were drawn to a particular modality which started you actually starting to go deeper on your own healing journey?
So I was introduced to transformational life coaching, mindset coaching. And that was really the first step, was a lot of work with oracle cards, transformational coaches, into it, like awakening my intuition and understanding that I'm very connected to energy. And from that point, I was getting invitations to transformational events with other healers and people. And it was surrounding myself in those communities that helped me see that, oh, I'm like you. Oh, okay, this is awakening something in me that I didn't know I was deeply connected to. And it just kept building from there, where at the transformational event, I was exposed to Reiki, and I could feel the Reiki in my hands.
Whoa.
And I could sense when I talked to people, it's this, and I'm sure other people listening understand, where it's like, when you talk to people and they get a little agitated, and you can feel their energy start to, like, there's friction there.
Yeah.
And they start to activate. And it's like, there's something about me that is activating people.
Wow.
And so I kind of just from there kept trusting, and in the doubts, because there'd be like, am I okay? Am I hurting people? Like, really wanting to be in integrity and be a good person, because that's a drive of mine. I want to be kind in this world. I want to be in integrity. Those are values of mine. But also knowing that I'm here to stir the pot a bit, to be different, to be unique, and to fall back on that trust of, if this is what is happening around me with people all the time, I'm just going to trust that and not make myself wrong for doing that, for being who I am.
That's a huge amount of trust to place in yourself. And even more so is like, to start walking that path and feeling those calls that you needed to go to these transformational events, and actually, before you got to that point when you were there and actually experiencing, hey, we're all on the same wavelength, we're all eye level here, for you to actually take that step to trust and say, okay, I'm going to go, I'm going to show up, I'm going to allow myself to be seen, I'm going to trust that when I get there, I'm going to feel safe, secure, amongst like-minded souls, because going somewhere different, and then you're taking a different path, that's scary as fuck, seriously.
Oh yeah. all of the things that I've stepped into scared me to a degree, but I knew that if I stayed where I was, nothing would heal. Like, I would just feel worse. Whereas I can face the things that I'm scared of and trust in myself that I'm not going to get hurt from this. I'm only going to grow, and trust that instinct within me, that intuition that says, this is the next step.
Oh,
even doing these things, talking with people and exposing myself out in the world. It's like, this is important. There's something in me.
What certain people, are waiting to hear, because we all want to have that community. We all want, sometimes we query stuff within ourselves and think, okay, is that normal? Am I okay? Or am I weird? No, you're not weird. None of us are weird. We're all completely uniquely divine. And, we're all trying to be that better version of ourselves. Yeah, we have shit days. Yeah, we have days where we feel like, okay, we could have been kinder, we're human. That's all part of the journey, that's all part of the experience. So Laura, so you obviously started trusting yourself, which went hand in hand with healing yourself. And then obviously you started going to these events, and then I'm assuming you got attuned to Reiki as well.
I did.
Step, and then you took it further, because you do human design as well, don't you?
Yes. So at that same event, I was exposed to Reiki, and I was exposed to human design for the first time. That event was really a big shift and catalyst in my life. And human design opened me up even more. Like, Reiki opened me up. I did the training for both at the same time.
Oh, wow. That's
and the connection to understanding unique energy and how we're all different, and how we mechanically function, and how important it is for all of us to be our unique selves, to really know who we are and know who we aren't, so that we can move through this world and just be like, oh, that's fun. Like, I'm not going to make you wrong. I'm not going to make myself wrong. And I'm going to love myself, and I'll love you. And I know where my boundaries.
Without judgment.
But there's also the boundary work of, what do I accept into myself, and where do I end and you begin? Really understanding that.
That's really nice that you mentioned the human design, because I find, I'm not a specialist in human design. I know a lot of people who do use human design, and I find it absolutely fascinating. But I'll be honest, it kind of goes over my head when I go to the nitty gritty of it. I can understand like the basics if like yours, when else explains it to me, and like I know my design, but you know, the real in-depth nitty gritty that I don't understand. And you know, at the beginning when I introduced you, you said you're a 4/6 splenic projector. Let's explain that to everybody who might be like me and go, what's that then?
So as someone who is non-binary, I don't identify with gender, the gender binary. And what I found is that human design helped me understand myself at a deeper energetic level, rather than just what my meat suit is.
Okay.
So
I like that.
So I'm a projector, and that is how my aura functions. And my aura as a projector, any projectors, which are about 22% of humanity, we have penetrating and absorbing auras, which just like an actual like film projector, our auras go into the other and then bring your energy into me so that I can feel it and know it and understand it. Okay. And it's very intense for us. We're very, very sensitive to other people's energy. And it takes what the boundary is for us to be able to be in a nice symbiotic relationship is we're invited into sharing your energy with you. Because the beautiful thing about being a projector, what I really love about it is I am so sensitive to your energy that it allows me to help you make your life more efficient, help guide you, because I'm experiencing you as well, and can tell where things are off or on, and where you're like really where you're off and where you're meant to go. And I can just be like, hey, here's a question, and that's going to put you on the right path. Totally. Or something that feels better. And that's being a projector. And then the splenic part of that is my authority. So human design is all about reclaiming our inner authority, not putting our decision making outside of ourselves, not always looking to others, but really regaining our trust in ourselves by practicing our inner authority, which each of us has an energy center that is the loudest in us, that we can rely upon guiding us on our correct path. And I say correct loosely. It's like what's aligned for you. Yeah. And for me, mine is my spleen. And that is all about intuition and instinct. Whereas yours is your emotional center. And you follow your feelings. That's what's reliable for you. Yeah. For me, mine's a reliable intuition. So the 4/6 part is all about the costume that I wear in life. And we each have, that's called a profile. And as a 4/6, I'm here to network. And I'm here really testing out life, reflecting on it, and then kind of really perfecting, and then able to teach people how I made it through certain challenges. Yeah. That's the process my body is going through. Okay. And my mind is always looking for the connections. If I look back on my life, everything that has ever been aligned for me came through someone in my network.
That's awesome.
So it really, when I learned my design, I was like, oh, this is how I optimize my life. And I stop pushing so much, because most of us are not designed to push at life. I'm designed to sit back and play and rest and do things that feel good.
Well, that's so nice.
And so are you. It's like you're meant to use your energy with what feels good for you. Yeah. And that's it. It's like, okay, that's such a permission slip to not do what we're like conditioned to do by the world of like, gotta hustle. No, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I can totally recommend any viewers today, if you want to get your human design read, to really, to reach out here, because it really does open up your awareness about yourself. And sometimes you do forget, you've got all this stuff. Okay, Laura's told me this, and this. And like, I'm a generator, and I'm like, okay. And then you work from your sacral. Yeah, of course I do. It's all my gut instinct and everything. And it's like, okay. And then you realize, I get burnt out when I do this and this. And she's saying, you're getting burnt out doing this. And I'm like, So it's really eye-opening. So it is super interesting. But I know we all have our areas which, you know, call to us the most, you know. So, you know, so for me, it's like the Akash and also energy healing as well. Like you're totally in human design, and it's just like, okay, that's why we network, because, you know, we don't have to have all the tools in our back pocket. We're supposed to collaborate. We're supposed to share, you know, and know who we can go to when we need that little bit of a boost somewhere else. So yeah, cool.
Absolutely. And that's the way the world is working towards right now, as well as we're going to have more of those smaller knit communities. So it's nice to learn how to trust yourself so that you engage with the communities that are going to support you, that you're going to be able to help support
and to follow your design
and work with.
You can tell what's leading you in which direction, so you can know, okay, this area is telling me of my body, I need to check in and trust that, because that's what's talking to me through my intuition, so to say. It's fascinating. It always blows my mind. I've got such amazing friends who do the human design. Every time they explain it to me, and everyone obviously explains it different. It's like, you know, everyone converts it differently as well. So it's like finding the person who, you know, speaks your language as well. And maybe it's a variety of people together, which is great, because then you're getting different insights about the same thing. And, you know, it's all being coded to you how you're supposed to understand it. So that's the greatness of it all. But yeah, it does. I will be honest, it goes over my head completely.
That's okay. Not everybody is meant to read design or understand it. It's all about you just need two pieces of it, which is strategy and authority. If you're like me, I just want to know everything.
Which is fine.
I like learning.
You know, I just go zoop. I just go up there. I'm just like,
That's perfect.
Okay, so how would you say that you really stepped into be authentically being thyself? Do you know, there was a point in time where you said, okay, this is me, this is who I am, and I accept it, and I'm going to show this unapologetically?
I think that's been really recent. And again, it's a practice of, for me, unfortunately, it always seems to, okay, how bad can it get before I just knock it off and get up and be myself. And I feel like that's been really recently, of me coming out and letting people into my being non-binary. And understanding and honoring myself above anybody else. Like totally. I am who I am.
And we're glad you're who you are. You're supposed to be exactly who you are.
Right. It's a practice, because I've not been surrounded by people like you and the people we both know for most of my life. It's been just the last 3 years where I've gathered the people that love me, that I feel the love from, that I feel nurtured by, are now around me. And that has created this container and this ability to really trust myself, feel safe for some of the first times in my life, to just be myself and repeatedly get up and practice being myself over and over again. And so I feel like with all the work, with all the tools, with all the amazing healers that I surround myself with, that has the discipline to repeatedly do that every day is something that's relatively new.
Well, thank you so much, and we're really honored. I'm really touched that you're sharing this so openly with us, that you feel so safe here with a cuppa, that you can tell me, you know, and just tell every viewer who's watching us today, this is who I am, and it's me, and I like me, and that's exactly how it should be. And you know, I'm sure this is a very powerful message for a lot of people who may be feeling that they can't yet say, hey, this is me, because of that fear and not being able to trust what the outcome's going to be when they actually say it out loud. So thank you for sharing that. I think that's really, really special. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for this space to do so.
No, and I'm sure the viewers as well, completely, you know, people watching us today, I think it's going to resonate a lot. I really do. So thank you. So if anybody's thinking, hey, Laura really resonates with me, and I really want to reach out and connect with you, what would be the best way to reach out to you? And basically, before we go on to how they can contact you, you know, what message would you like to give people who are on their path to master thyself? What tips would you like to share with our audience today?
I think it all starts with you saying, that's okay.
Yeah.
Whenever you're on, whenever you're doubting yourself, whenever you're feeling a certain way, just really holding yourself and saying, that's okay. I can feel that way. And working on that acceptance piece of exactly where you're at when you're there and who you are in that moment. And it starts with that. All of these, there's a lot of pressure out there to just be like, I love myself, I'm great. Those affirmations, when I really want to tell people and share with people, it starts with saying, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
And it starts with that acceptance. And then the next step
I
up.
feel you. I hear you. I see you. And it's okay. Yeah.
And if you aren't at that point, there are people all around you who cannot wait to love you.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And I know your arms would be welcome, open eye wide, to help these people as well. So how can people reach
absolutely.
out to you? How can people reach out to you?
Yeah, I am at Radiant Aura on Instagram, and you can reach me at radiantauracoaching.com as well.
Okay. So you offer, what kind of services do you offer?
So I do coaching and human design. I do lots of different levels of human design for those just starting out, for those who want to go deeper, for those who really want an immersive experience. I offer human design coaching.
Wow.
And yes, this is new. It's really exciting. And I also do readings for parents for their children,
so that they can. That's really great.
Yeah,
we all need to give that.
We need to let the little people be who they are from the start. And parents, caregivers, whoever's around children consistently, understanding how to help them understand themselves or allow them to be themselves, so that you can hear their authority and they can trust their inner authority. I do
understand them as well, because sometimes you just have no idea.
Yeah, like talk about frustration in parenting. If you want that permission slip to just like, I'm going to stop trying to make them who they aren't, or, give myself grace in this process, because there are some types of kids, it's just different to parent them. And so I do what is called a baby in me reading, which is a connection chart between the caregiver and the child to understand how energy works together and how you can actually take tools from that call and utilize it in helping this kid. And then I also do Reiki sessions as well, both group and individual. And just one-on-one coaching as well.
That's beautiful. That's really, really lovely. Oh, so thank you so much for sharing this, for sharing your grace, for sharing your sovereignty, and, speaking your truth and sharing that with us today. And I've really, really enjoyed chatting to you today, and I'd love to have you back on again very soon. And maybe we can go even deeper with human design or something like that. And everyone, if you want to reach out to Laura, I can highly recommend connecting with her totally. And she will explain your human design to you in understandable terms. Even I got to understand. So and to everyone else, now we just thank you for watching us today, and we look forward to seeing you for another cup of self-empowerment very, very soon. So much love to you wherever you are in the world. Have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, and take good care of yourself. Bye-bye.